This 39 Dunedin News Bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on 39 Dunedin News, a few local inventions make it into the lineup at a Mobility Technology Expo. Resurfacing of some tennis courts at Otago Boys is now complete, so attention is turning to upgrading other areas. And old fabric is being given a modern twist before it makes its catwalk debut in ID Dunedin Fashion Week. Good evening, Dunedin. I'm Rebecca Dupree. The gap between disabled and able-bodied people is closing thanks to new technology. Some of the most innovative and simplest mobility assistance devices have been showcased in an expo in the city, and they included a few local inventions.
Giving locals a leg up. These inventions to help with mobility are among dozens being showcased at a touring disability expo.
It's been a roadshow that's gone to 5 main centres in New Zealand, and we've got between around about 50 suppliers in each venue. So today we're here in Dunedin for the day, and really it's to show people what options are available for disabled and older people.
The show featured some of the most state-of-the-art technology available locally and from around the world. This seated Segway was manufactured in New Zealand and is among the finest of its kind in the world. But not everything was high on price, as organisers wanted to expose even the most simplest innovations accessible to everyone.
We've got from the very high-tech things like adapted segways to quite low-tech kind of stuff, which doesn't require being plugged in, but the very simplest ideas can make a huge difference to a person's life.
The Expo is all about giving people with disabilities a chance to see devices personally and get a feel for new technology. Organisers say this collection of goods is making everyday living easier for people with bodily impairments, and that's eliminating differences within the general population.
Certainly it's getting a little step closer every time. There's still quite a big gap, but certainly once you're looking at some of the computer technology or ways to adapt things like iPads to get them to do stuff for people, that's happening quite a lot now.
This was the last leg in the week-long Disability Roadshow, exposing people in the Deep South to the latest and greatest life-enhancing gadgets available. Annabelle Dick, 39 Dunedin News.
More than 700 local businesses are having to adapt to new legislation which is taking effect today. All companies and organisations dealing with food must comply with a new act and the changes within. Existing companies have a grace period in which to adjust systems in line with the updated law. It covers any firms that make, sell, grow or transport food commercially. There's about 715 affected businesses in Dunedin. Most changes relate to managing food safety and risk. Production companies are now subject to more stringent requirements than retailers, whereas the old law had a one-size-fits-all approach. A well-used sporting facility at a local secondary school has undergone a major redevelopment. Otago Boys High School has spent almost $250,000 resurfacing its lower tennis courts, and now staff are turning their focus to upgrading other areas.
Giving an upgrade the once-over. Otago Boys High School rector Richard Hall is getting a feel for the school's newly resurfaced tennis courts. He says the project was necessary, particularly as the school puts a great deal of value on sport.
It's very important for the boys to have the best possible facilities in which to learn and in which to challenge themselves. And what we had previously was we had a surface and a facility that was tired and dated and really was unloved. And what we've been able to do in my first year as rector is bring that love back, bring that community feel back and create a first-class facility for our young men.
The new courts are set up for tennis, hockey and futsal, a sport that's growing in popularity locally. The renovation means the school can now host competitions in the sport, which previously could only be held at the Edgar Centre. Hall says it's been a slog raising the more than $200,000 needed for the work, but the local support has been humbling.
Nothing has come from the operations grant for this, for the school. Nothing has come through the Ministry of Education. It's all been done by locally raised funds through such generous organisations as the Lion Foundation and Otago Community Trust, as well as some significant people in Dunedin and Old Boys.
It's not just money that was given by supporters of the project. Volunteers clocked up almost 100 hours of their time helping out. Around 25 years of debris and overgrown vegetation had to be cleared and natives planted in its place.
It hasn't been a project in which we've asked for lots of financial support. We've been lucky enough to receive that, but we have also been able to receive a lot of people's time and energy and passion, and that has been the best thing about it.
Hall's pleased to announce the next stage of the redevelopment also has the go-ahead. That'll see the top courts resurface with the material used for the Australian Open. Work is scheduled to begin mid-year. Ruby McAndrew, 39, Dunedin News.
Police are investigating the theft of thousands of dollars worth of electronic equipment from a local stationery store. 9 tablet computers were stolen from the warehouse stationery shop in South Dunedin early this morning. The devices are collectively worth several $1,000s. Police say the Andersons Bay Road store was burgled at about 3:40 a.m. It's believed the thief or thieves smashed a window to gain entry before stealing computers on display. The shop was similarly targeted in 2014 when a number of tablet computers were stolen from inside. Police are appealing for information about this morning's case. A local fashion designer is preparing her first couture collection for the railway station catwalk. She's been through the city's prestigious design school and is hoping exposure from the show leads to more sales within a tough industry. And she's giving old fabric a modern twist in the process.
Stitching up strips of old jeans. Local fashion designer Melanie Child is finishing her 5-piece women's wear collection for the ID Dunedin Fashion Show.
What I've chosen to show is a collection of sort of bespoke couture pieces that are entirely constructed out of denim, and I'm using a lot of traditional hand techniques that you don't necessarily see in clothing today.
Child's been a part of the city's style set for years, but it'll be her first time showing on the railway station runway. It's all glitz and glamour on the night, but behind the scenes it's a lot of hard work.
Because there's so much labour involved in what I make, usually I don't get, like, the amount of time that I put into what I make doesn't necessarily reflect in the price. So for me it's definitely, to be cheesy, a labour of love.
Child's holding down a full-time job while building her clothing label. She says Dunedin's very accommodating of the arts and budding designers can find the local scene nurturing. But it's a tough business, especially for small-scale ethical designers using recycled fabrics and zero-waste techniques.
The industry is changing, and as much as people are starting to become more conscious of what they're buying, people don't necessarily have a lot of money, so it takes effort for people to want to shop, you know, for independent local designers and shop also ethically.
Despite getting calluses from hours of hand stitching, Child remains passionate about her craft. She's hoping ID gives her a commercial boost.
Just having my work displayed alongside some of Dunedin and New Zealand's most established label is huge exposure.
ID attracts thousands of people to Dunedin each year, giving local designers a commercial platform to show their wares. This will be the 17th event, with activities beginning on the 11th of March and running for just over a week. Rosie Mannins, 39, Dunedin News.
Still to come on 39 Dunedin News, we take a look at a local program that's helping young people find employment, and we'll update the chick situation at Tairoa Head.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell menswear, it fits.
Don't miss the home show. Lots of great ideas, great prizes, great deals, kitchens, bathrooms, furnishings and lots more. The Epicentre Moore FM Arena, 4th, 5th, 6th of March. Adults $10, children free. See you at the home show.
Expo Tech Limited have been supplying beekeeping equipment and honey products in New Zealand for over 100 years. A specialist manufacturer of hiveware and plastic products for the beekeeping industry. They are the leading supplier of beekeeping equipment nationwide. For all your beekeeping needs, visit ecrotech.co.nz or call 0800 117766.
The team at Caltex North care more about you than just putting fuel in your tank. They care about you and your family. At the Caltex Valley Workshop, the skilled service team care about your safety, extending the life of your car and helping you live more economically. There's a range of modern equipment to give comprehensive warrant of fitness checks and servicing to your vehicle. Come visit your only local in North East Valley and receive 10% off when you book your warrant and service together. That's your friendly Caltex Valley Workshop, 134 North Road, or book online at caltexvalley.co.nz.
Grandad loved his family and surfing, in that order. He taught me to surf, and we spent a lot of time in the water together over the years. When he died, I strapped the camera to the nose of his old board and filmed the paddle out at St. Clair. Gillian's played the video on the big screen at his funeral. Grandad would have loved having everyone come out one last surf with him.
Gillian's Funeral Services, helping families celebrate the lives of their loved ones for generations. Gillians.co.nz.
For professional, reliable and approachable service where your dream kitchen design can become an affordable reality, contact the team at Kitchens for Less. Call 455 9973 or visit us online. New Zealand Beeswax Limited are the quintessential beeswax, woodware and beekeeping suppliers. From the amateur beekeeper to the commercial operator, New Zealand Beeswax Limited has the quantity to meet your needs. For great prices, great service New Zealand-wide, contact New Zealand Beeswax Limited on 03 693 9189 or visit www.beeswax.co.nz.
Here's something else to look forward to sinking your teeth into every weekend with the Otago Daily Times, the Weekend Mix, your guide to what's hot in fashion, entertainment, food and more. New weekend magazine in your ODT. Pick up your copy this Saturday.
Welcome back. Two Dunedin-based medical companies are going from strength to strength, signing international deals and doubling profits. Biotechnology firm Bliss Technologies is expecting sales to increase to more than $5.3 million this financial year. That's more than double the figure from a year ago when sales generated $2.5 million. Meanwhile, cancer diagnostic company Pacific Edge is celebrating a significant deal in the United States. It signed a supply contract with the Veterans Health Administration, the largest integrated healthcare system in the US. And on that positive note, let's take a look at today's financials. And the NZX 50 has closed the day up 50 points. It's now at 6,281. The Dow Jones is down 123 points. To the exchange rates, the Kiwi dollar is down very slightly against the pound, but we are up against the other currencies we follow. A unique local program is helping young people to find employment and reduce their reliance on government welfare. It's been set up through the South Dunedin Social Sector Trial, and manager Marianne McKibben is here to tell us more. Good evening.
Good evening.
What is the project that you've developed?
Well, the Social Sector Trial is all about working collaboratively with a wide variety of different agencies to improve outcomes for young people in the city. It's a flagship government programme, so it involves the Ministries of Social Development, Education, Health, Justice and the Police, but also other agencies like schools, University Polytech, NGOs, all sorts. We very quickly identified when we started up about 2.5 years ago that actually one of the key issues for youth in the city is unemployment. We've got around 900 to 1,000 young people who are unemployed year on year, and that's been going on really for around 12 to 15 years now, so it's quite a consistent picture. And we felt this was an area we really wanted to make a difference and sort of bring people together to make that difference. So we kind of went about it, set up a governance group, involved different agencies, some of those that I've cited already, so schools are important in that equation. And really our vision was about how do we prevent young people from becoming unemployed in the first place, and for those that are unemployed, how do we help them get into training or employment? We've got, as a result of that, joint work looking at it, trying to come up with new innovative ideas. We've got a programme of work which includes around 18 initiatives, I think, at the last count. It's pretty comprehensive, and it goes right through from high school age kids up to those aged 24 who are currently unemployed and working with work and income.
And what's changed for local youth as a result?
One of the big things that we've done actually is set up something called Youth Link. So Dunedin Youth Link is part of Work and Income, and it's in the Community Link building where the main service centre is. But what it is a youth employment hub, so it's very much a different way of working with youth. We wanted to trial whether if we engage with young people in a different way to the normal sort of business as usual, whether that would work. And we found it has. So we've got an environment which is not branded Work and Income. It's got a group of case managers and a work broker who connects to employers who are dedicated to working with youth. It's quite a laid-back environment. It's got couches, it's got cushions, it's got the radio on, it's got street art on the wall. It's just a very different vibe really to your usual place. And what we found is that we have far more engagement from young people. When they run seminars around employment or trying to get young people programs that get them work ready, more young people turn up than they used to when it was business as usual. They've got a wardrobe of clothes to help young people sort of actually kit themselves out for an interview. They've got access to vouchers for small number of vouchers for actually getting free haircuts from the barber, that kind of stuff, which actually shows that we care about young people, that we're willing to invest in them. And as a result, we've actually, since we started almost a year ago now, we've got almost 450 young people off benefit, which has been a fantastic result.
Tell us about some of the hardships they face.
All sorts of things. I mean, some of the young people that we see through in Youth Link don't actually get much parental support or family support. They don't have networks. I found moving to Dunedin and New Zealand that actually a lot of jobs aren't advertised. It's who you know. And if they don't have those connections and those networks, it's really hard to get your foot on the ladder. A lot of them don't really know what employers expect. They haven't had work experience. They've got certain barriers to employment in some cases. For example, low-level anxiety and depression, so mental health type issues. In some cases, alcohol and drug issues. So we actually have both a mental health and an alcohol and drug clinic running through in Youth Link to provide them with that kind of support to address those barriers.
South Dunedin Sector Trial Manager Miriam McKibbett, I'm sorry, that's all we've got time for. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
After the break on 39 Dunedin News, the finishing touches are put on an annual favourite, and an old refrigerator takes on a new role in North East Valley.
Sir Bob Charles, New Zealand's greatest golfer and still going strong.
I'm sure that Sportsville was a contributing factor to my success, and I'll continue to use it.
Sir Bob Charles Sportsville, a product so good he puts his name to it.
Well, I believe Sportsville helps maintain your quality of life.
Now being used by active men and women globally to support strength and mobility.
It works for me.
Sir Bob Charles Sportsville in the new all-black pack. Call now for the Sportsville special, 0800 502 402.
Pregnant? Need to talk? 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Pregnancy counselling services are here to help. It's free, it's confidential. Call us now on 0800 773 462.
Don't miss the home show. Lots of great ideas, great prizes, great deals. Kitchens, bathrooms, furnishings and lots more. The Epicentre More FM Arena, 4th, 5th, 6th of March. Adults $10, children free. See you at the home show.
Mosgiel Mowers Plus can help you with products to make your garden maintenance jobs easier. Lawn mowers, ride-ons, chainsaws, line trimmers. Sales and service are our specialty. Mosgiel Mowers Plus. Phone 489 3572 22B Gordon Road, Mosgiel.
Pallet fires are growing in popularity in Otago, with people who want a clean and efficient form of home heating. The sight of a burning flame without the problems of chopping, stacking and carting wood around is a winner. Pallet fires. So easy, so efficient.
Bring some more joy into your world by adopting one of our adult animals at SPCA Otago. Call now on 473 8252. Please adopt a pet now, they will love you forever.
Are you looking to add a new dimension to your home? A Christie's glasshouse and shed will add value to your property and increase your gardening pleasure, and can be easily ventilated during the day. A Christie's garden shed is a brilliant addition to your backyard, adding to your storage capacity. The great Kiwi glasshouse and shed come in all shapes and sizes, are manufactured in Dunedin and come in a range of nature-inspired colour steel colours or metallic zinc aluminum finish. Choose the Kiwi shed that has stood the test of time. Choose Christie.
Tune in on Thursday for Motorsport Night on Dunedin Television.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Welcome back. A 40-year-old woman is recovering after having to be rescued from the St Kilda surf just before 1 o'clock this morning. 4 police officers entered the water in the pitch black conditions to locate and rescue the woman. They were alerted to the emergency at about 12:45 a.m. by a man who had accompanied her to the beach. She was reportedly in the water for up to 90 minutes before being assisted to shore. The woman was treated at Dunedin Hospital. 2 of this season's albatross chicks have died, leaving 26 at the colony at Tairoa Head. Originally there were 28 chicks, giving conservation staff confidence for the population. One reportedly died while hatching from the egg, and another perished as a result of suspected infection or parenting problems. Royal Albatross Centre staff say some chicks are reaching an age where they can be left for short periods while adults forage for food. A crowdfunding campaign to assist the fledgling birds has raised more than $2,000. The Otago Peninsula Trust is aiming for $5,000 for equipment and resources to keep chicks cool in hot weather. Organisers of a yearly arts event are making the final touches ahead of its opening showcase. The Dunedin Fringe Festival aims to promote local and international talent, and the city's economy is set to benefit.
Fine-tuning an important performance. Several acts are getting in some last-minute practice as they prepare to open the 16th annual Dunedin Fringe Festival. It's an important task given the festival's longevity in the city.
So the Fringe Festival is fundamentally an arts festival, but it encourages new and innovative and emerging artists to take part. It started in Dunedin in 2000 and it has a long history in Dunedin.
The event showcases dance, music and theatre from local, national and international artists. This year is expected to be the biggest festival yet, with close to 70 acts taking part and some new special features.
The showcase is bigger and brighter than it has been before, our showcase event. And also we're running a festival club at the Dunedin Community Gallery, which is our own space for artists to perform and for us to have special club nights.
Organisers are expecting around 10,000 people from all over New Zealand to make their way to Dunedin for the festival. The overall operating budget sits at $170,000 and the event is set to boost the local economy by tens of thousands.
We have about 300 artists in town, all working on events, so the impact is quite widespread. They all receive a lot of funding, both locally and nationally, and all of that funding is spent here in Dunedin.
The festival kicks off tomorrow evening with 28 acts hitting the stage for the opening showcase. There'll be plenty to see around the city over the next few weeks, with the festival running until mid-March. Annabelle Dick, 39, Dunedin News.
An old refrigerator is being given a new educational use in North East Valley. It's housing a miniature library at the Valley Project site on North Road, and it's helping to encourage more people to get on board with a citywide project.
Stocking the fridge with something a bit different. Dozens of books are now available free of charge to anyone passing by this spruced up piece of whiteware in North East Valley. It's the latest site in the Lilliput Library's project, started by local arts charity Poems in the Waiting Room.
So the whole idea of Lilliputs is that people just come along and they take a book and they can either read it, pass it on to a friend, return it to another Lilliput, or return it to the one they got it from, and then at just some stage bring some books back of their own, just so that the people keep supplying the books.
The idea is to encourage literacy and the recycling of books on a small scale. It's a concept that staff at community group The Valley Project are pleased to support and be a part of.
A guy named Chef Rogers from the English department approached us and with the idea, and he said that he would manage it and stock it and make sure that it's clean, and so we said, yep, let's run with it.
The North Road Mini Library is the 12th in the city. All have been painted by local artists, with the latest one no exception.
I really did it with children in mind when I did it, and I wanted to make it colourful. And so on one side it's got Poseidon, who's god of the sea, and on the front it's got some elves and mice peering in and out of bookshelves, and at the bottom there's the first part of a dragon, and he goes around the corner, and up above that is a phoenix.
There are plans to establish dozens more of the mini public libraries around the city, with Arneson picking up 10 more this weekend. There's also a waiting list of people keen to see one set in their community. Ruby McAndrew, 39 Dunedin News.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on 39 Dunedin News. The gap is closing between people with disabilities and the general population thanks to the latest technology being showcased locally. Almost $250,000 has been spent upgrading the lower tennis courts at Otago Boys with help from the community. And a local designer is stitching up a 5-piece couture collection for the ID Dunedin fashion show using recycled denim. It's time now to find out what's going to be in Wednesday's Otago Daily Times, and Dave Cannon's with us. Good evening.
How are you?
Good, thanks.
Oysters. The oyster season started today. We actually went down to Bluff. No one brought me any back, unfortunately, but we've got a full coverage of the oyster season and the links people go to get oysters. Update on the courthouse, both in Dunedin across the road here and also in Oamaru. Some things happening there. Good news, I'm afraid. Pleased to say. Highlanders injuries. Already, one weekend of the season, we've already got one of our stars injured. And the Wash is looking at the corrugated iron flag campaign, which seems to be spreading throughout Otago. After today's column, I'm finding out there's flags everywhere made of corrugated iron, so we're trying to find out who's doing all this.
Oh my goodness, details in tomorrow's ODT. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
Time now for local weather. Here's our city view. It's taken of the side of the Crown Hotel. Around the city today, the central city recorded 13 degrees at 3 o'clock, 14 for both the Gardens and the Tylee. To the situation, an anticyclone will move slowly over the country tomorrow and Thursday. As it departs from Friday though, a milder west to northwest flow will develop. Looking forward to that. To the forecast in some of the main towns on the lower South Island for tomorrow. Fine weather for Invercargill, Gilgore, Tiano and Alexandra, highs of between 18 and 23 degrees. And fine weather for Queenstown, Oamaru, Wanaka and Twizel, 19 to 24 degrees. And Dunedin tonight, fine but cool with a low of 6. Sunny tomorrow with nor'easters developing, 19 degrees. And on Thursday, mostly fine and sunny with northerlies and a high of 23. To the Otago Pallet Fires tidal and fishing information, high tide tomorrow morning is at 11, low tide follows at 5:45. And fishing conditions look reasonable tomorrow, especially around 7:30 a.m. And that is local news for Tuesday. We'll see you again tomorrow. Good night.
This 39 Dunedin News Bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.